Hello, everyone. You know what time it is. It is time for a Wednesday wisdom nugget from me. So, I'm just going to go straight into the Bible verse. It is from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Ephesians 2, verse 10. And it reads, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." So today, I'm going to talk about knowing your self-worth. Now, self-worth is different from self-esteem. I did kind of briefly talk about my battles with self-esteem in a previous video, but self-worth, to me, my definition is talking about how do you feel about yourself every day? Do you think that you can achieve things? It's basically, are you your biggest fan? Before anyone tells you anything, you should always be your number one fan. There should be nothing that anyone says or does to you that should penetrate in your mind to make you feel less than what you are. God has made you into a wonderful human being, and you have to feel that and you have to know that. And for me, from my opinion, I definitely believe that self-worth, you automatically know when somebody has high self-worth. People can literally, you can look at people and think that confidence is different from self-worth. You can look at people and think that, oh my God, they're overly confident, they have great self-worth. And I'm here to tell you, I have met people who are overly confident, and sometimes it is a mask because they don't feel worthy. I've met people where we go to certain places and they're like, "Oh, you like fancy places like this? You so and so." I don't like, I don't feel comfortable. But when you have self-worth and you love yourself, and not just love yourself, you value yourself. You can feel like you can go anywhere and mix and mingle because you know who you are and whose you are. You wake up every day, you have a purpose, and you just feel good about yourself. And the number one way, in my opinion, to tell if you have high self-worth is through dating. So if you know me, you know that my tolerance level is low. I do not put up with a lot of things when it comes to people in any type of relationship. That's work relationships, that's romantic relationships, and friendships, even family relationships as well. I am a firm believer. I will cut anybody off that is not aligned with treating me right and treating me of value. I treat myself of value. So if I'm treating myself better than you treat me, why would I need you? And that's what I want people to realize. Your self-worth is everything. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. And I know a lot of people, I'm a millennial, I know a lot of people around my age, I feel like they do too much. They're trying to overprove that they can get somebody. If you have a good personality, if you are a good person, a good human being who naturally attracts people, of course people are going to be into you. Of course you're going to date. Of course people like you. There's nothing that you have to overprove. You don't have to overprove on social media. Oh, this person likes me. You don't have to oversaturate relationships to overprove, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you allow. So even if you have all of these people that you're dating, all of these romantic relationships that you're into, and they're treating you like trash, your self-worth is low, in my opinion, because it just is. Just the quantity of people that you attract, it doesn't amount to the quality. I would rather have a long, extended period of being by myself for years and then get married later on and meet that one person that changes my life than to go from one man to another and have 15 boyfriends that treat me like trash to overprove to a world that I can get somebody. I think it's stupid. And more than that, you don't have high self-worth And in order to gain self-worth, it's not from people. It's not from having people around you who can boost you up, having people around you who can compliment you. It has nothing to do with other people. It's really going within your soul and self-examining yourself and really finding out the reason why you may not love yourself the way that you should. And a lot of it dates back to your childhood. A lot of it dates back to your experiences in life. So, number one, I would recommend therapy. The first thing you need to do always is get therapy with, if you know you don't feel good about yourself, your self-esteem and your self-worth, you got to talk to a therapist. Number two, you need a mentor. You need somebody who does have all of the qualities that you admire. Talk to that person. When you're feeling low, when you're feeling down, you make sure that you call them. Let them be your accountability partner. And this is the right person. This is not a person that's jealous of you. This is not a person that has bad blood with you. This is a just unbiased person who is a good spirit. Number three, anyone who is taking you back to a place where you're going back to the person that has low self-worth, they need to go. So some people are around, especially when you have low self-esteem and low self-worth, because they know that you have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Do not think that they do not know that. They're taking advantage. So since they know that you don't care for yourself, you don't uphold yourself, you don't like yourself, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be around using you, building you up, and just taking your spirit and taking elements of your personality and just using you. Because they're like, oh, you know what? I know she don't really care for herself like that, so let me come over here and play games with her. And I'm telling you, people's mission is to do that. So just be very careful who you allow in your space, especially when you're in a healing period. When you finally realize and have revelation about yourself and the things that you need to change, you really need to do it alone. You don't need a group of people around you, and you definitely don't need a group of the wrong people around you. So go back and think of everyone who really aided in your low self-esteem, your low self-worth, and just start saying, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And there are things called soul ties. And soul ties it gives the falsehood of you being in love and you being in a relationship, but you're really not in love with this person. It's just you are attached to the wrong spirit. And those are the worst. You have to pray, you have to fast from those, and you have to really pray to God and say, God, remove me from this person. Please help me to see this person for who they really are, outside of physical elements, outside of sex, outside of intimacy. I need to see this person's character and this spirit. And when God shows you a person, please leave. Don't sit up and say, oh, God, they've changed. Don't argue with God, and don't argue with what God has showed you about that person. Leave and do not come back. Block them. I don't care what you have to do. Change your number, because I'm telling you, being in a soul tie with the wrong person can damage your purpose. It can damage your destiny. It can also damage you. It can totally alter the entire direction of your life, and you don't want that. So you just have to be careful. That's all a part of low self-worth. And out of all the things, number 4, when it comes to self-worth, you have to see it. I do believe in being a visual person. You have to see the things that you love about yourself and memorize them over and over and over. What character traits do you love about yourself? And for me, I love that I can nurture people. People can come and talk to me about anything, and I'm not going to tell their business. I'm going to be right there praying for them. I'm going to be right there crying with them. And that is a good quality, because everyone is not like that. What is your good quality when it comes to, even not just for people, for yourself? What is your good quality for yourself? What is it that you like about yourself that makes you smile? Write it down. Write down at least 5 qualities about yourself that makes you love who you are. And that's when you start putting them on the mirror. Every day when you wake up for work, you brush your teeth. That's what I would put. Hey, since I know that I'm a nurturer, I love that I'm a nurturer. Stick it on the mirror and it'll make you smile. That's all helping to boost your self-worth. And have you ever heard from the elderly, fake it till you make it? Fake it until you make it, baby. And I'm telling you, that's how I gained high self-esteem. And I really used to hate myself. I used to hate the way that I looked. I was looking for validation from people, though. And when I started being like, girl, you're so fine, I love me some you. And when I started telling myself stuff like that over and over, even when I didn't necessarily feel that way, it became ingrained in me, you know? So fake it until you make it. Everything's going to be all right. And I'm telling you, as long as you're God's child, your self-worth, you should already wake up every day knowing that you have the victory, knowing that you're miraculous, and knowing that you have a constant friend that you can get up with and you can talk to at any time of the day, any hour, and he's going to pull you out of your darkest hour. And self-worth is everything. Self-worth is everything. And please remember, if you don't remember anything else from this video, it's not determined by people. People are not the determining factor, because people can fluctuate. People can fluctuate. 1 minute they love you and 1 minute they hate you. A person could tell you you're the most beautiful thing on earth today, and tomorrow say, you know what, you're ugly. I don't want to deal with you anymore. They flip-flop every day. That's why you have to know who you are outside of people, outside of people's opinions. You have to know who you are, and you have to know who you are through God. And the only way that you can know that is by spending time with him. Spend less time with people and hearing what they say about you, and validate yourself. When you depend on the validations of people, people can create who they want you to be, and you can also lose yourself. So people can create this person, and then you think that you're this person, and then you start spending time with yourself and you're like, I'm really not that person. I was just portraying that way to be validated and to have people to like me. As long as you like you, that's all that matters. Learn your self-worth, value yourself, and know who you are and whose you are before you get into any relationship. I don't care what it is, friendship, relationship, anything. Know who you are always, and don't let anyone deter you from who you are or downplay who you are and what your skills are. God bless. Thank you for supporting me. Know your self-worth. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. Bye-bye.